Hello everyone and welcome to Friday Night Live with me, Doodles, and tonight we'll be having our very special guest, Mark Lawson, who otherwise known as Marky Mark Gone Diggin. But before I bring him on, I'd just like to say thank you everyone for coming in and joining the live stream tonight. And I'd just also like to say to the folk, there's been a few people recently just stopped their YouTube channels for whatever reason. So I'd just like to say I wish you all the best in whatever adventures you choose to go on from now. But anyway, let's bring Marky Mark. Hello Mark, how you doing?
Alright, everybody alright?
So how's your day been today?
Just same as always the last few days. It's all COVID oriented and yeah, just work at the minute, but hopefully I'll be coming weeks it'll just slowly start simmering away and season ends, and then I can go off doing a bit of metal detecting. It's one of I used to always get time in the summer to go metal detecting, but because of all the pasture stuff I have at the minute, I'm basically just waiting for the winter, and then so I don't ruin people's fields and stuff. And
yeah,
so, yeah. Not
too bad. Firstly, can I just say thank you very much for coming on and appearing on Friday Night Live with myself. It's very much appreciated. Do you just want to tell everybody a little bit about yourself?
Yeah, basically started metal detecting 4 years ago. I've always fancied doing it. Always had a bit of a professional career, so I never really got time to do it. And yeah, once I finally got a bit of time to have a bit of me time, I fancied having a go at it and basically got latched onto it, and ever since then it's been one of them hobbies. I'm one of them people that I take on loads of hobbies. I always do new things and I always set my mind to one thing, and when I do it completely and try to do really well at it.
Yeah.
And metal detecting is probably the only hobby other than bikes and bike racing that I've really stuck with. So yeah, it's just a different thing every day. That people seem to think that metal detecting is a bit of a boring hobby, but what can you do hobby-wise? You can go out and do a different day that can be completely different to another day. Go and play golf. It's the same 9 holes, the same 18 holes. You know what I mean?
Exactly.
It's one of them, and that's why it's always I'm always drawn into it. Your worst day always ends up being the best day. It's a bit of one of them weird, yeah.
Yeah. You mentioned that you had a professional career, so you were actually a professional jockey. So how was it being a jockey? And how did you get into that? Because that seems like quite a niche profession, if you know what I mean. It's quite a competitive thing as well.
Yeah, I did. I left school and I was probably 5 foot tall, so I got a bit of push into going into the racing world, and basically started out that way. Never really. And to be fair, I've always been an arrogant little sod, as in regards to when I want to do something, I do it. So yeah. I basically pushed to want to be a jockey till I was like 22, and then got a bit of I rode in England I had 4 or 5 rides in England. It's really tough in England because it's like the biggest sport, as in horse racing world.
Yeah.
I got a chance to go out to Canada and America, so I went and rode out there for a couple of seasons, and ended up coming back and latching on to a few trainers this end, and rode. Luckily enough, I got all good horses always make life easier. So yeah, I did well this end, and then got to the Middle East, and yeah, it's one of them sports where it took me all over the world, but it seems to be a bit of a flash in the pan, really. I can't really, if I really try and recall, I recall rides and things, but I don't recall the whole experience of it. It's just, yeah.
I've got a question with you on where you're saying it's kind of like a flash, but you remember a few rides. Obviously, do you know, like when you're in the bigger race courses, and then you're coming into the finish line and everybody's cheering, and can you actually hear them when you're on the horse, or are you just too focused on what your job in hand?
Yeah, you do sometimes. sometimes there's the big meetings when you, especially when if it's a close finish, you generally hear horses around you, so you're concentrating more. But sometimes when you've got that little step forward, and in fact, this I'm just going to do this because not many people. This is not even on Facebook, but that picture up on the wall there, that is the last race at Musselburgh every year. I'll tell. In fact, let me get it up there because I've just got. I won't know. This is not on any of my Facebook, so this is like kind of a. This is a. It's called. The horse was called Esquiola, and it was the last 2-mile race. It's nice to see you 2007 race at Musselburgh, and that's it there. Yeah,
Nice.
That's in the kitchen, and that's one of my only. The trainer who trained it said that he trained it that well. It wasn't me that rode it that made a difference. So
Nice.
But yeah. 17 years later, he still calls me up and asks me if I've got any horses that he'd like. Is worth buying that I think that I've sat on. So
yeah,
when it sales.
Not too bad. Obviously, you've sort of retired from the saddle of the racing side. So where does your career go from there? Do you stay within the horse world and become trainer, or do you
I basically do the. Just my phone just said it's dying.
Oh, that's not so good.
No. I just do the travelling side now, so I basically just take them to the races and get to eat food and drink and see the boys and
nice.
Like the boys that are still riding and have a chat with them. So yeah, I've got the best of both worlds now. Don't get me wrong. The end of the day, it is what it is, and yeah, I'm still in there. So yeah, it's when I got out of bed this morning and it was absolutely thrashing it down. The wife, she's got her own livery yard, and she's got to go and do the same thing. So imagine two people getting out of bed in the morning, looking out the window and going, I've got to go and sit on a horse in the lashing down rain. It's not fun, trust me. It's not fun.
Right. Sorry, I'm messing about the screen a little. Yeah. For some reason, it's no sitting state. I'll just leave it there. It'll jump around a little. But yeah, no. So that's not too bad. So you said you got into the hobby metal detecting, but you also mentioned before you've got hobby motorbikes, motorcycles. I've seen on a few of your lives you've got your own motorbike. So you mentioned racing. Do you actually race them as well?
No. I'd like if I go up to speed in the next coming years. I'm one of these crazy idiots, and I've always always loved the TT. If I can get up to speed, I'd love to go and if I've got this friend that comes and does it with us, and he's an ex-BSB racer or whatever, and if I can get up to speed, like up to a good track time without trying to kill myself, which I've tried to do the last couple of days, then I'd like to go and do the Manx. I just, even if I don't care whether I finish 50th, it's just go and have a go at doing the Manx track. I'd love to go and see have a ride around the TT track and get a bit of the. I don't know whether the wife and the daughter will appreciate that beside it, but
yeah, we'll
cross that bridge when it comes to it.
Yeah, it's quite a dangerous one. We've just got Diggin Canuck Liz for Canada just come in. Hi, how are you doing? Nice to join us. And we've got a few others in as well. Hold on.
All right, everybody.
your screen, I don't know if it's your phone, but the screen seems to be jumping around. I'm just trying.
Sometimes it's just like you look at, like I'm talking to you and I'm just thinking I'm talking to you. I completely forget there's people watching.
Yeah, I'm the same when I'm doing the lives as well. I'll be sitting talking to you and I forget sometimes that there's actually people talking in the chat as well. So I'm trying to catch everybody now. Yeah. So you mentioned that you got into the hobby and you've always wanted to do it. So what is it about the hobby that wanted you to start? Like getting into it?
I always loved, the one thing I was good at school, and I hated school. The one thing I loved at school was the history side of things.
Yeah.
and I love. Mate, for me, I'd rather go out and find. A lot of people go on about Roman and Saxon and all these things.
Yeah.
I love going out and finding like World War II stuff
Yeah.
because that's what I was brought up with.
Right.
But I don't really know. I don't what really brought me into it. I think I don't know. Sometimes, do you know what? If there's a metal detectorist in the world that says they don't want to find someone that's worth millions, then I just go, I'm sorry, but I think you're talking rubbish. Because I'm one of them. I love finding history and I love finding stuff. But the top and bottom is, I want to find something in a hole that someone's left there thousands of years ago that's worth a fortune that no one's ever seen.
Yeah.
It's not even the money side of it, because the recent hoard that I found, the silica hoard, that I had like 27 Roman silica. I've given whatever comes from the museum. I'm giving that to the lady that owns the field. I'm not bothered about it. It's just that I just want to find someone that's completely blown out of the water. That goes, everybody goes, he found that. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Just that little bit of history that you can put your name to, that you've recovered.
You just go, we can all find hammered, we can all find Roman silvers, and I'm really lucky because I'm in an area that I obviously know a lot of people with paddocks and stuff like that. But I think the biggest thing is it would be finding someone that's blown out of the water, like a pot of Roman coins. It's not even if it's size of a little coffee cup.
Yeah.
As long as it's in the cup and it's got the coins in it, that's someone put that in the ground. Otherwise, coins are just coins that they put in a hole, aren't they?
Yeah.
Or it gets scattered. You know what I mean?
I seen who was it? Was it the Joan Allen boys when they done the live on Facebook? I don't know if you've seen it.
Yeah.
Was it Charles? Charles coins.
Yeah, what they call the Civil War hoard.
Yeah.
But it's scattered around, and for me, I just go, I'd rather find a Roman brooch that meant so much to someone, or a bracelet, or even World War II, something like that. Do you know Jason Baker? Have you heard of Jason? He does a lot like for Joan Allen.
Right.
Jason
No, I've not seen him.
He basically found a £50 World War II German practice bomb.
Wow.
The other day, and I said to him, I'd swap you 50 Roman coins for that, because that is, for me, even if it's a practice bomb, that is.
It's history, isn't it?
Like, it's just, yeah.
It's like I'd probably say like finding one of the bouncing bombs that they trialed in off the Lancaster. Was it the Lancasters?
The Lancasters, yeah.
Yeah.
And it's well, I don't want people to think that I'm a bit weird here or a bit strange as in bringing it up, but one of my biggest things, like when people are bucket lists as metal detecting, one of mine is actually some Nazi, because I learned World War II.
Yeah,
it's obviously the opposite side. I've always had this thing where it's not like I completely disagree with anything that they've ever done, and Hitler is just completely wrong. But to find someone that's my era, like my grandparents or something along those lines.
Yeah.
With the swastika on, that's a war memorabilia. Do you know what I mean? It's just.
Yeah, a personal item from back then.
Yeah. Can I show you? Have you got 2 seconds? Can I just grab this thing?
Yeah.
I want to show you this badge.
Right. If anybody's got any questions for Mark, if you just tag me in the chat, I'll be able to ask any of the questions that you have for him while he goes and grabs this little find. I don't know what's happening with
that's one I found. And that's I literally, the last day I went out, I don't get out metal detecting much at the minute, but that's the last day I was out, and it's a complete World War I soldier's badge or cap
Oh,
badge.
was that in the Victorian field?
Yeah, it was. Yeah, and it's I'm starting to look old when I'm looking like it's the Royal Rifle Corps, World War One, and it's got all like different countries and Canada and America and everything.
Nice.
Oh yeah.
That's a nice little relic to have.
And now that I'd rather find that than Roman coins any day of the week. It's a bit weird because a lot of people they'd rather go way back, but it's just
Yeah, it is one of them. So when you started metal detecting as well,
no, I'm not going to bore you too much about it.
That's okay. When you started metal detecting, what detector did you use?
When I started, I started out with an Altasoro. I'm trying to think what it's called now. It was an old machine.
Yeah.
And I used it for literally a week, and then I basically got my hands on a Garrett machine.
Yeah.
Used the Garrett machine for a little bit, and then
Was that the Garrett Pro? AT Pro?
No, I had the Garrett AT, the 300 first.
Yeah.
And then I went up to the AT Pro. I love the AT Pro, the AT class machine, but the recovery speed's not. Oh, compared to modern machines, you're talking they're a million miles apart. Like it's not so much what settings or frequencies you're using. It's just the whole recovery speed between rubbish. So if you, especially with me, a lot of my sites are Roman sites, and it's full of iron. You have literally got to have the fastest machine.
Yeah.
And you've got to run it. If you run it on a different day, you'll find different things. It's one of them, and it really does test the machine. And that's where, like, say, AT Pros, AT Maxes. I haven't tried the new Apex, but the AT, like me being Mind Lab, I looked. From the minute I used the Equinox, I've loved it, and I've used every machine has its own
little tweaks,
different great scenario. Yeah, like I've had lads that turned up with Deus's on some days on my land with a Nox.
Yeah,
and they can't find nothing, and then other days they've turned up and found stuff, and a lot of people just go once you've walked across the field. Like I get friends go to me. Yeah, I've done this field a few times now. It's not worth doing. I haven't found much anymore. Much. Like, go on a different day. Even if the ground, it's just there's just so many scenarios. Like, as in, if the ground's like really wet, obviously you get there. What you got different rain in there, and ask more things. And then on drier day, you know yourself. There's so many scenarios. You can't just go, and that's why people say when people actually go, "Oh, yeah, a field is done" when you've hammered it.
Yeah,
it isn't. It's never done.
No,
it's never hammered. The more you go out, the more you just go. How did I walk over that yesterday? I've walked over it 20 times, and it's all to do with you
done an actual. I was going to talk about this detector a little bit later on, but you've done a few reviews. One of them's the Q40. I'll come back to that, but just you mentioning where a field's never done or an area's never done. I think one of the videos that actually showed that was when you were using, I can't pronounce it, it's the Nocta, is it? And Vito. Yeah. When you could see 3D with your swings, even though you thought you were covering, it was just showing up that you were missing part of the fields.
You know, I got a lot of flack for that because a lot of people said, "Oh yeah, but you found nothing with it. And it's an 8-gram machine and this, that, and the other." And people don't understand why you're actually coming. That day when I use that machine, like I'm sponsored by Mind Lab, so I shouldn't even be really say anything against other machines. The one thing I will say is that when we used it once, and it's a £8,000 machine. you're going to use that, it's going to take you a month to even learn it, as in, yeah, it's the same as any machine. You just can't walk out tomorrow and just pick it up and just, when you get to that level,
yeah,
mine, like Equinox 800, any of them, they are all like the top level machines, and you can't just walk out and just swing it. You can, but you've got to learn. You've got to be able to learn the little bits in between, like as in how to adjust it certain times. And with the Invenio, a lot of people went to me, yeah, but you walked across and you found nothing, and then this is worth £8,000. I'm like,
yeah,
I've replied to these people. I get a lot of it via email. I just email these guys back and go, look, I've used it once. I'm literally just giving my personal input, and at the end of the day, you hit the nail on the head when you see that thing going across the ground.
yeah,
And see how much ground you miss. That's why people miss it when and we're metal detecting. Even if you swung like literally the slowest person in the world, you are still going to miss signals because it's in different directions.
yeah, definitely. And that's the bit that highlighted it to me when you were looking at the little TV screen on it. Just like the gaps in between swings, like how much we were actually missing.
Yeah.
It was just unbelievable. Like
it's mental, and you don't realise it because all it is basically is that little fine margin, and all it takes is for you to see something across the field and you go like that for a split. Because there's no way no one, unless you are an ultra like, what's the word, ultra fanatic, and you can literally look at the ground 24. So you do start walking across the field going like that, as in swinging and you're looking, but at the same time you're just listening for the tones. You don't realise where the way you're swinging and the way you're doing it.
yeah,
You're always going to miss things, and it goes to show no matter how many times you hammer. Like I've hammered, my little main Roman field at this moment in time is one of the smallest fields I've ever done, and yet I've had the most things off it, and I still have the boys. I've had a few other lads come up now, like Stephen Gray and Sid. They come along and they'll take a swing over it, and they find stuff, Roman coins and stuff, and it's not because I've missed it. It's because people run in different settings, different days, different. A lot of people go, "What settings you using? What settings you using?" Sometimes it's just what the ground's like. If the ground's half dry one day and it's not wet, or you're gonna get more. It's the conductivity, like between the top of the ground, bottom of the ground. Like I don't want to go into it too much because it blows my own mind. But when I first started out, and a lot of people went on about it, I was like, "They're just talking rubbish. Metal detecting. It's easy. You walk along, you swing a machine. If you've got the best machine, you find stuff. It's not as easy as that, but
no,
yeah, it's an amazing. The beauty of it is you can walk out tomorrow, even me, like with the badge that I got that I just showed you there.
yeah,
I went out for a couple of hours one afternoon, and that's probably the first time in about a month and a half. And I found that, and I was buzzing, and that's the beauty of it. No matter what hobby you do, you always know what you're going to do when you want to play golf. You always know what you're going to do. Even me with my track days, I'm going to crash my bike, or I'm going to go fast or slow.
yeah.
Where we're metal detecting, you can go out and you can just find the most amazing thing that could change the world. You can actually change the world with it, which is
Totally rewrite history books.
Yeah, you can rewrite. Yeah, that's what we're doing. We're basically archaeologists don't really like us, but we're actually shaping the history of England. Eventually, I guarantee you, with metal detecting now, eventually it will make a massive difference. As in England, Scotland, yeah, it's just one of my hobbies. But a lot of my. You know what? So many people go to me. Oh, I'd love to do it, but I just don't want to look like an idiot. And I'm like, why would you look like an idiot? Because people find it like it's not a geeky hobby.
No.
I do DJing. I rode racehorses. I ride motorbikes. How is it?
Yeah, it's just a good hobby, and
It's cracking on it.
yeah, I do like it. It's like when I laugh, I need to ask though. I'm surprised you're not actually skint at the moment, because looking back at your first couple of videos, you actually taking your daughter out with you, and it
Yeah.
must cost you a fortune in gold chocolate coins.
That's what she still goes on about that to this day. My little girl is just like, if I go out metal detect, she just loves. To be fair, I at this moment in time, like this time of year, I don't get to spend much time with her.
Yeah,
So it's like really, but then she's getting to that age now where it's, when she was younger, she loved it. Now
yeah,
she's getting to that point where it's the in between where she's going, I can't be asked to walk around the field for ages. And I'm like, and I do take her out the odd time. And then I go, if I take you out, make sure you come out with me. And she's like, yeah, of course, Daddy. And then within half an hour, she's going, right, I'm ready for home now. I'm like, just yeah.
yeah,
But I'm not. She'll get to the edge again where she'll want to keep going, and yeah,
yeah,
she'll be
definitely.
old enough to swing her old machine eventually. That hopefully.
Yeah, sorry, you might see me laughing at it. I don't know what it is, but your screen keeps going like big and small, and I'm trying to keep you in the screen here. I don't know what it's doing it.
Is it?
Yeah, I think it's because you're actually on your phone, but that's absolutely fine. I'll just keep transforming the screen and fitting you to it. But I've got to ask as well. You're as you've alluded to with your permissions. You are quite lucky in the sense that there's been a lot of roaming activity where you are. And I notice in videos that you do quite a few paddocks. Obviously, as in permissions. Do you research your permissions before you ask, or have you just been finding them?
I don't get me wrong. I just basically ask. I just ask anybody who ever asks me how you do, how do you get your fields and whatever. Do you know the best? You know the all jokes aside, a lot of the time, I've got my permissions for metal detecting out of going to the pub. I go to the pub, I get talking to people.
Yeah,
My mates go, oh, this mate's got a field, and or I bump into the farmers and they go, yeah, I've got a field, and I go, yeah, I'm going. Let me have a go. And
yeah,
it's always been like, I think, I don't know. When I first started, obviously when I first got a metal detector, we already got like, I live on an estate here that's got like probably 300 acres, and
yeah,
I probably walked over 3 acres of it with a metal detector. It's never. I've always they don't. Yeah, I do. When I first started, I'd detect anything, and then but then I'm really lucky because the area I'm in, I literally every field has got some history, so it's just like it's pretty simple that way. But I do now I've got a massive grasp for it. I basically do like I knew the Horde field that I eventually got last year,
yeah,
and it turned out it was one of my really good mates' fields. He said, "Oh yeah, it's my nan's field. Just go up and have a go." And I walked over it one day, and I found a Roman and odd bit, but I was like, there's not much out of it really, like from one hit, because I'm one of them. I'm a bit spoiled. With pasture, you generally find if it's pasture, it's you big and it's a good hit, good. It's not, you are going to find serious stuff because generally not stuff get not. So I basically walked up to this field and was like, I haven't found much. And then I went away on holiday and I came back off holiday and I just thought, you know what, we'll go back down to that field. I'm going to do like an easy settings like newcomers video for
yeah,
the Knox. So I basically walked into the field and it was just bang, bang, bang Roman. And the more I walked around it, the more I was like, where are all these Romans suddenly coming from?
yeah,
So I rang Dan and I'd found this Roman spoon. And I said to Dan, look at this, mate. And I knew straight away it was Roman because he could just tell the age of it, and he was complete. And he's like, oh, mate, you've got to go, like, you've got to find some silver now.
Yeah.
And then straight away I walked, literally, a lot of people think it's scripted, but I walked into this, like, broken up silica, like Roman coin.
Yeah.
So I found all the bits. I could hear little targets, and I was picking up all the little bits of silver. Got it all together. And there was this bloke taking a picture of me car, and I'm like, what the hell is he doing? So I was like, come over here. And he's like, I work for the National Trust. We run all this land around your field. I was like, right. He's like, if you got permission, I was like, yeah, of course I am. Wow, oh my God. So I actually gave him a couple of Roman coins to take away. I said, like, yeah, and then from then on in, Dan said, carry on fighting. You've got to go more. And I pulled that 27 silica from that little small area.
Yeah. So have you been back to that field at all? Because I was going to ask you about your silica hoard.
Wait. There's 26 so far.
Yeah.
That are recorded. That's going to Oxford Museum. I've asked to acquire them. So I've said that whatever the money is side, she's an old Irish lady that owns the field. So I've said she can have whatever.
Yeah. Well, that's nice of you.
You know,
yeah.
Whatever. And this winter, I'm hoping to get up there with a couple of guys. I pretend that I know what I'm doing. Metal detect the serious side. So I've got a couple of boys that want to come along, and we're proper machines, and I'm trying to get. I tried it once, but I only had half a day with it. GPZ, so and GPX. So yeah. I'm gonna try and use one of them again this winter. So yeah, see
nice.
If but I actually believe there's more there.
Yeah. Do you think it's a pot, or do you think it's scattered?
I found some. My biggest initially, I thought it was scattered.
Yeah.
But because the more we've done it, the last time we went there, Stephen Gray found a silica, which was another 5-6 yards away from it, which initially I thought it was scattered, and obviously it is scattered.
Yeah.
But I've had a couple of the silica around 1.5 foot. Like, I took the top layers off and managed to pluck a couple more out. So
yeah.
Another side of me said there's more there, and it's a bit because archaeologically wise, like, once you go far, there's massive stones, and that's all pavements and all paths, and right. It's just a bit of a sketchy situation. Like, to be fair, my friend who the guy who was National Trust, he rang me about 3 days ago, and he said, do you want to come and have a look at this? And I'll send you a picture of it. Yeah. And it's a complete, I'm trying to think of it called now. Pestle, is it? Pestle?
Right. Yeah.
Pestle and mortar. So it's a complete mortar. What they call what do they make the gravestones out of?
Yeah, like the granite and
granite. So it's a proper full on. He found it in a load of stones in the field next to it, complete.
Wow.
And it's either Roman or Medi. They're trying to go between the Roman Medi. I think it's Roman just through the way it's the context of it, like the markings, and it's just. But I'll send you a picture of that.
Yeah, you've found quite a bit of Roman as well. Is it all from the same era, or are they varied with all your coins and that? Like
I've found a lot from early to late Roman. Like, so I be honest with you, I found that I'm really lucky. Touch wood. I'm really lucky that I've managed to find so much Roman.
Yeah.
to think that one of the first times I went out, went up to my friend's house. He's got a big old mansion in Wickham, and he just said, "Oh, come and have a go on the fields," and I found a big Cistercius. To go from there to finding what I found out,
Yeah.
I'm just I do. Yeah, but it gets a bit weird because sometimes you get a bit bored of finding. I'd love to find medieval stuff.
Yeah.
If you're finding the same thing every day, you go. It's right. A lot of people go, "I'd love that Roman." I sent people Roman coins in the post. People said to me, American people go, "I'd never find a Roman coin." I'm like, "I've got a Roman coin. I'll send it to you in the post." And I just send it to them, and I don't know whether they're worth money or not. I'm just one of them. But I found that much. I go to the. I get to the point where I'm one of them. Like I just go. I'd like to find something new now.
Yeah.
I love finding brooches and stuff. You cannot ever find enough brooches.
Yeah. Stephen Petkin is saying that you do drop on some land.
Yeah, I think it's just the area I'm in, and I've spent a lot of time at it.
Yeah.
I initially set out doing the videos because obviously watching like Sid and stuff like that, I knew how hard it was when I started watching, detecting myself, and I've had some guy messaging me today, and I'm talking about recovery speeds and what settings I'd use on a field, and he's going, you're blind, like it sounds, but it's for me, it's just one of them things. If you work hard enough at it, it's basically really easy. Recovery speed is anything between iron.
Yeah.
And yeah, I could sit and talk to someone all day about how to set up a machine. In regard to going between, it depends what it feels like.
Yeah.
Different settings, different days.
You've done reviews when you first started, because I think it was the AT Pro I seen on one of your videos.
Yeah.
But then you went from the AT Pro to the Q40. I think it was you and Dan Spencer with the Q40 and Q20.
That's how I started out with detector bits and Mind Lab and everything. To be fair, Tony Hunt, the guy that runs Detecting Innovations now, he's the initial guy that got me going, and Dan Spencer, Search Magazine. He was the one that set me up with him, and the Q40. No matter what Quest bring out, and I'm not going to say too much about public relations or anything, but machine-wise, the Q40 is the best machine, low range, up to date. Like obviously, now you've got the Vanquish and other machines like that that have obviously took to the next level.
Yeah.
But at that moment in time when I started out, the Q40 was the best machine in fact, I rated the Q40 more than the AT Pro just because everybody always goes on about wanting to have a deep machine. If you've got mineralized ground or a trashy area like Roman ground, you can walk over that all day with a Garrett machine. You are not going to. They won't get between the iron. It's simple.
Yeah.
That's the beauty of. A lot of people go, yeah, but you can buy say for instance, the lower range. So say you can buy a lower range Vanquish.
Yeah.
Why would you? If it's got the similar performance to a Nox, why would you go buy the Nox? Because the Nox, you can walk across the field and go, right, this is really trashy. You can higher your recovery speed and iron bias and all that. Like I said, I can do this all day. But
it was funny you should say that, because I was on a beach detecting this year, and I met a guy, Malcolm, and he come over and
Mind Lab Malcolm.
no, it was up in Scotland, and we were speaking anyway, and he had the Equinox 600 and I had the 800, and when we were talking about settings, none of my settings matched what he could do with the 600, because I was like, oh, put it to 4, and he's like, I can't go that high, I can only go to 3, and I'm like,
There's no, you can't change tones or.
No,
But that's the difference, and a lot of people go, there's not that much difference. So if the same performance, but if I'm just like I've gone across the board, as in I know the 600, I know the Vanquish, I know everything, and if I always said to people, if you do actually want to, what's the word, buy cheap, buy twice or something like that.
Yeah.
So, likes of the Vanquish, it's not cheap. It's cheap,
Yeah.
but it's a good machine. But then, if you really want, if you are really, I'd say, if you're really into your metal detector, you know you're gonna go through with this and carry on doing the hobby. Just go and buy a 800 straight away, because the 800 is just, it's just the difference in settings. And so many people go, yeah, but my 600 has found this, my 800 has found this. I'm like, it doesn't matter. Because the difference is, eventually that 800 will outdo the 600, no matter what.
Yeah. No, definitely. So through your videos, you've just mentioned that obviously the Q40 was a good one. You've used quite a varied amount of machines as well, though, because obviously you've had the Equinoxes, the Vanquish, you've put it against the Deus, the Qs, and then you've obviously used the 9 grand machine. You've said that takes a while to learn. So if we take that one out of the equation, what would you say that the best one so far that you've found? That using them wise, what one would you say would be your go-to if you could choose?
I've just got to go with. I just got to go with the machine I use, mate. Honestly, I just think the Nox, like I obviously the Deus has held its own for years. I've had a couple of goes with the Deus.
Yeah.
I'm not going to knock it. I'm not going to knock it. The difference between the Deus and the Nox is the Deus is a very quick recovery speed, and on ploughed field, you've got that.
Yeah.
That difference between that and a Nox. The Nox for me is and a lot of people. I get this. To be fair, I get this question, and I always say the Nox because it suits me. And Minelab machines are always deeper, but the beauty of Minelab now is they've got your recovery speed. You can lower it and higher it, so you can make it as fast as it is.
Yeah.
And I've had a go with I've like I said, I've had a go with most machines, and I don't even know why they call me it. I am down as Minelab expert, but personally I just go, when people said to me, why did you choose to go that, I just guess it's just it's my favourite machine. Sorry, but Jack Russell's looking at me wanting to go out for a wee.
That's all right. What? Okay, Jack Russell.
If I'm dead honest, and I'm not just even take everything sponsorship wise apart, because I've always, to be honest with you, with all my videos, I've always been dead straightforward with them. I don't bull machines. I don't lie about things. If someone messages me on the screen and says, what do you think of this? I give them straight honest opinion straight away.
Yeah.
And for me, by far, and it proves it to me, to be honest with me, I don't, the Nox is just blowing everything out of the water at the minute as fines wise, because it's obviously a deep machine and you can make it shallow, whatever.
Yeah. I do like the Nox.
Especially on pasture. If anybody's got pasture and they're looking for the best machine for pasture, then all day long. Sorry. All day long, I'd say the Nox is best on pasture.
Yeah, I would agree on that. That's the thing with the Deus, though. I think my thing with the Deus is I think it outstrips the Minelabs on freshly ploughed field, aerated soil. I like to say. I think Minelab struggles slightly.
I'm not gonna I'm obliged to say, but yeah. That's all I'll say.
Yeah.
But yeah, on my pasture land, the Knox is mega.
Yeah. Yeah. See, I'm predominantly pasture as well, so no, I do like the Mine Labs for that. I think they shine, shall we say?
Oh, they just. To be honest with you, the thing I find amazing is if you think 200 years back, people are looking forward and going, do you think they'll ever make a machine that could find stuff in the ground? It's just, and now we're here finding stuff from like 2,000, 3,000. It's just mental. Like,
yeah,
and no matter how many Roman coins you pull out of the ground, you just go, the last person that probably touched that was a Roman person.
Yeah. And
it's just mind blowing.
Yeah, and it's a shame to think as well, because we're doing this with that history and we're finding it, we're thinking, wow, in about another 1,000 years, when folk are still metal detecting, none of our stuff's going to be, our coins are going to be totally gone, and they're still going to be finding Roman.
They're going to have to bring out metal detectors that actually find iron, because a lot of the coins these days are iron core.
Yeah.
The main thing that goes up on Facebook is people going, I can't find this 5p piece, and I'm like, and I comment, I go, because
it's iron.
Majority of it inside is iron.
Yeah.
It's discriminating it.
It is funny, like, because you do realise it was like I was on land and I was getting an iffy signal and I was like, I'm going to dig it anyway. It was a penny with iron core all exploded in it. I was just like, no way.
You know, the best thing is, I always think about this. It's a bit of a weird situation, and I don't want people slating me for this. But when I come home and I find like all these World War II bullet casings, bullets and stuff like this, all these bits that I just go, or even like Roman bits of lead, and I just pop them in the hedge, because I've got a massive garden, so I just go in the hedge. Someone in like 2,000 years' time is going to find that, and that's going to be like, I've just got it in my head that someone's going to go, it's a massive hoard. They found World War II bullet casings and things like this.
Yeah.
And I'm just like, and no one will believe that now. In years to come, people won't believe that.
Yeah.
But it's probably going to happen, you know.
Yeah.
Because what else are they going to find?
No, that is it. It's not going to be our era, that's for sure. There's going to be nothing left.
Found a Garrett carrot, pinpointer.
Yeah, somebody else threw it away. Oh, no way. Yeah. That would be funny, like.
Yeah.
So even though like you are lucky, as you say, that you've got a Roman area, where would you like to? Where do you think you would like to most go detecting, worldwide or an area in the UK? York.
I used to actually, my main point when I was a jockey was actually in York.
Yeah.
And I know the history around York is mental.
Right.
If someone said to me, where would you want to go? Yeah, York, or I've got this one, there's one field near me now, and I've just got, and when I set my mind on the field, I generally write, because just through my own work.
Yeah.
And I just cannot for the life of me get it, and I drive past it or walk past it, and I just look at it, I go, I'm having it one day. I will have it.
Yeah.
I will have it. I'm narrowing down my people who know this person.
Yeah.
And I'm almost here. I've got close a couple of times, so even if I have to go and sit on a couple of show jumpers, I'll go and grasp it. But
yeah. I'll scratch your back, you scratch mine.
Yeah, whatever. But
yeah,
then, yeah, to be fair, that's different.
So is this field, do you think, got a good bit of history in it?
Oh, it's hard to say, because it's just I'm really lucky, because I've probably got about 30,000 acres of land, like,
yeah,
around but it's a bit all together probably. And I really struggle to get on the land that I get on, but I try and do my own work on each one. But I know many a person that's like found stuff on land that's not got any history. That's how history is made.
Yeah.
It's easy looking at spots and going, like, I know my hot spots now, and I know the field that I want, and I'd love to go to York because of the history side of it. But then there's other parts that haven't been found yet, and that you go, that's the bit to be found. That's what makes history. The bits that are still hiding in a field somewhere. I drive the box every day, so like the big HGV now. So
Yeah.
when I'm driving racing, I drive along. I look at fields and I go, I wonder if there's something there.
Nice.
And I wonder how many times in my life I've actually walked, rode, galloped, or done anything. There's obviously a lot of it's fields and stuff.
How do you find it in the? Sorry, how do you find it in the fields with the horses while detecting? Because I know you obviously you like horses.
They don't. They won't bother you. They are what they are.
Yeah.
I watched a video the other day about someone with like, honestly, like, obviously I'm like animals oriented, so cows don't even bother me or anything. I could just walk through a field. But it's just the case that basically don't be scared around me, just approach them and give them a bit.
Yeah.
Horses are very. I have horses walk up, grab hold of my mine lab and start pulling it around the field.
Yeah.
And I walk up and I give him a slap across the head and go, get off, you silly sod. Like, and they'll come back and I'll give them a stroke.
Yeah. I've got a permission, and they own stables, and
take some carrots or some polos.
Yeah, well, you're saying that. The owner was like, he says, I'll tell you now, he says, there's one horse in there, and he says, it's a bully. And I was like, right. He says, you just need to show it who's boss if it comes near you. So I was like, yeah, no bother. So as I was walking through a field, along beside a ditch, to get to the next field, that horse come galloping over, and I was like, right, here we go, along with two others. And then all of a sudden, it's like got its shoulder against me, try to push me. And I'm like, right, I'll push against it. Yeah, I lost. I went into the ditch, didn't I? It just pushed me straight in. Like, I was just like, yeah, right. I'm not going in the field with him.
You've got to use a bit of. I'm only 5'4", but it's just a case of mind over matter with animals. Like, as in, a lot of people automatically go, oh, as soon as an animal senses fear.
Yeah.
Same as cows. A lot of cows don't trample and kill people because they intend to do it. They're inquisitive animals. They basically, if someone starts running, they chase after them.
Yeah, they think it's fun.
It's same with horses. Horses are the same. Like, horses come up to me, metal detectors, and I just go, I'll give him a bit of a pat and have a bit of a laugh with him. To be fair, I throw a load of my videos all the time because people love seeing them. But sometimes you don't need a slap across the head just to go on, sod off.
Yes.
Otherwise, they'll bug you all afternoon. They will literally stand all over your machine.
Yeah, I seen on one of the videos, Detector Kev, I think it was. The horse obviously just did not like his machine, and it stamped on his coil and broke it. No, Detective Kev. Who was it, Kev? With Digger Dawn, broke his coil. I was just like, that's disastrous.
You see, that's just daftness, because I won't allow a horse to do that. if I saw a horse walk up and start intending to damage my machine, I would would get a box. Whether it's an animal or not, it would just get that way. Pal.
Yeah, get out the road, Popeye. Right? No, that is nuts. Like,
sometimes you just got to show them who's boss.
Yeah, but they are big animals, so that's the thing. Like, I'm still, I'd say, a bit wary, to be fair. Like, so where are the cancelled events and stuff? And I know that you go with Dan Spencer and stuff like that. So, is there any events that you plan on going to next year, or if you get the chance, just with your work schedules?
I go to whatever. Generally, I always do Detectiveville.
Yeah.
Because I did. That's how I met. That's how I met Dan. Dan's on our WhatsApp group as well for the bikes.
Yeah.
He keeps meaning to buy a bike, so hopefully, if he watches this,
Yeah.
maybe you can tag him in on Facebook and say that I say he's a bitch because he keeps saying that he's going to get a bike and he got his knee down and all this lot.
Yeah.
But like, he's Dan's the first initial person I actually met at Detectiveville. And without sounding wrong, it was one of the first. I'm gonna get shot for this. He was one of the first normal people I met.
Yeah.
I went and had a bit of banter with, and everybody else just walked around like zombies, and they're all a bit. It's like a bit of a strange world
Right.
for me.
No.
Especially when I first started. Now, I'm used to it now. But I got chatting to Dan, and Dan was like one of the first people I had a real good clash with, and we're talking about bikes and metal detecting, and it was a case of one of them. So it was like, we just became good buddies.
I see.
Dan's a really, really good lad. Like,
yeah. I see you go out with him a few times as well in some of your videos as well. But there is one that I'm interested in, and you were actually out with Dan, and both of you actually had a couple of good finds. I think you called it your Field of Dreams. He found the Alexander Scottish Hammered, and then you found a gold gilded ruby stone or whatever it was. Did you ever find out any more about that stone?
The stone?
Yeah, it was like a ruby and gold gild.
Oh, it was crap. Are you on about the one with like the little red stone in the middle?
Yeah.
Yeah, it was crap.
Was it?
Yeah, it was a modern crap one.
All right.
But speaking of Scottish, the two I've had probably, what have I had? Probably quarters and halves, full quarters, halves, and full. I've probably had about 20 hammered in the years of detective.
Yeah.
And my two best hammered by far are both Scottish Alexanders.
See, that's nice. Yeah, you don't even find many Alexanders, to be fair.
Yeah, it's strange that I found them, and I found them both pretty much in the same place. So
that's decent. Yeah, you can always you always identify them the minute they come up with the stars on the back and ready that instead of the pips.
Yeah, mine with a Perth, I think. Perth, is it?
Yeah.
The three stars with the three dots, I think it was.
Right.
I see. It's a nightmare. They're a nightmare. But I'm sure it was. Well, yeah. I think it was Perth. Yeah.
Yeah. I'd love to tell you more about the hammers, but unfortunately, I didn't find enough of them. As I say, like I've only ever found seven hammers. Like.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Where are you then?
Me, I'm in central Scotland, but a lot of the area that in between Glasgow and Edinburgh.
So you're like Musselburgh,
Yeah.
split between, in the middle.
Yeah, directly in the middle. Yeah. But
yeah.
I would say our land's been destroyed a little by the history side, by industry, by open cast mines and that, because where I live was a lot of shale mining and coal mining. So it's kind of been dug away type thing and moved somewhere else. But there's still
some of my main winners were like Musselburgh, Scotland.
Was it?
Oh yeah, Peter Monteith, all the Northern trainers.
Nice. Yeah.
Good races. But we're talking about metal detecting.
Yeah. So obviously, you were talking earlier about the new machines coming out, the Vanquish and stuff like that. Obviously, I know that your Mine Lab, but obviously the Garrett Apex come out multi-frequency, which is I'd probably say a step in the right direction for Garrett. But obviously, I've heard the new C-Scope Evo 6000 coming out. Have you heard that one?
I've heard of it, but
yeah,
it's just a small market, isn't it?
Yeah.
Like there's so many names that you've got your your C-scopes and you've got your
Garrett's,
Garrett's.
Mine Labs.
Garrett's obviously always ruled for a long time, but I think they've lacked in technology the last so many years.
What do you think? What? Well, to put it a better way, what things do you think a beginner detector should have to make it be able to survive in today's market?
What do you mean?
Like obviously the multi-frequencies come out, and then obviously the Garrett they're saying is not waterproof. It's showerproof, but not waterproof. But then you've got like Simplex it's totally waterproof, and obviously they've all got their own little quirks. But what would you say would be ideal for a beginner? Obviously it depends on the areas you've got to search. It would depend on what machine you go for.
Do you know what? Personally, I think the biggest thing that a company could ever do at this moment in time is everybody's got their own mindset on how a machine sounds.
Yeah.
So you've got your Garrett's, you've got your Noxes, you've got your Nocta Macro, you've got all these machines that sound different, and everybody goes, this one sounds crap, this sounds okay, this sounds crap, this sounds okay, this sounds okay. I think they should actually be able to. I think it's that modern day, like now. If they can make a car, like just for instance, I went to Chelmsford yesterday, and there was a bloke with a Ford Transit custom van. It was like one of the latest models. It looked mint, like a old RS Cosworth or something.
Yeah.
And he done it all up, and he said, "Do you want to hear it?" And I went, "Yeah, go on, because I'm a petrol head." And he turned it on, and he could actually turn. He could make it sounded like a V8, American V8, but he could actually change the tone of the van by just pressing the button on his phone.
Wow.
So why can you not make a metal detector? It can't be that far in between, as in technology-wise, as in regards to making a machine sound how you want it to sound.
Yeah.
So if you like the ding, 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 ding of Garrett's, or you like the ding, like all the different tones of, and Nocta Macro with a little like twang in it.
Yeah.
Why cannot a metal detecting company go, do you know what? They can have it however they want to have it.
Yeah.
We'll give them all these different things. It's like it's like a mobile phone ringtone.
Yeah. You choose yourself.
We're so far ahead in technology now. I know metal detecting is a niche market and it's quite small, but surely they must be able to go, do you know what? You can have whatever tone you want and choose whatever, even if it sounds like a bloody rabbit every time it does it.
Yeah.
Like boing, boing, boing. You know what I mean?
Yeah, definitely.
It get kids involved. Do you want to go and find a frog today, son? And it's like,
could you imagine that? A rabbit sound for your hammers.
You know what I mean? It's simple. It's like little things now. Like it's like a clock on the dashboard of any machine. Anybody who goes metal detecting, it's a long old day as it is. So you want to see something to do with time wise. So it's just funny, and all that. They always go on about money, and obviously I can't talk about that side of it because I just mess about with him. But personally, I just go simple things: make a machine sound how people want it to sound, and a clock.
Well, that's. I don't know what other machines there are. The only one that I used to have a CTX, and I had that for 6 years. It's the only one that I found had a digital clock on it. In the top right, I've not seen any others, or like even which surprised me when the Nox came out that they didn't carry on that feature.
Yeah, no, I think with the Nox, to be fair to the Equinox, a lot of people always ask me the same question: why the stem is crap and all the other bits.
Yeah.
With the Nox, you've got a lot of like technology in one little box.
Yeah.
That's the bit. They made it cheap. Personally, I don't know, because a lot. It's obviously the best machine out there in a minute.
Yeah.
Personally, I'd have charged another £100 more for a better stem and things, but But at the same time, people have bought them off the shelf like bang as it is, and
Yeah.
they proved the technology wise, just blowing it through the water. They brought the Apex out, and it's somewhat similar. I can't talk technology wise because I use the Apex, but all I know is that they're trying to emulate the Nox, and
Yeah.
they've got a hard old showing because it's a mega machine.
Oh yeah. But I've got a question here for Dave, the Detectives. Obviously, just talking. Well, he's got a couple here, but he's just stated that he's predicting colour screens or touch screens for the next upgrades in detectors.
It's that's inevitable.
Yeah.
Mega in it. That's very inevitable. But does colour screens really matter?
No, see the only one like going back to the CTX, the thing I liked about it was depending on your signal that you had, obviously it would show up on the screen multiple targets, but it used to be like red and go like to like a light blue, but the darker the red, the shall we say it's locked whatever the signal is, if you know what I mean. Really discriminated it out.
To be honest with you, like even with the Nox, like some days it's hard because once you get to know a metal detector, you just basically dig what you know.
Yeah.
And I can dig single tones, as in it's a one way.
Yeah.
Most people in metal detectors say as long as it's two way, dig it.
Yeah.
I can dig one wave just because of the pure fact that the way I run my machine now, I've got that used to it that obviously you've got a load of iron around it and it's basically just grasping
the signal.
Like the signal, yeah.
Yeah.
And then you dig it and then it gets. I always say, my biggest thing to anybody who ever says, "Oh, with the Nox, what do you do?" My biggest thing ever is, I say, if you ever hear a sweet, especially if you're running horseshoe mode as well.
Yeah.
If you get a sweet tone, dig the target, pop the hole out, and see if there's if it gets better, it gets better. If it doesn't, it's iron.
Yeah.
Flip it back in. It takes 5 seconds anyway.
Yeah.
Once you get used to it, you bang it back in. Away you go. But that's the moment. But then I haven't found gold yet, so maybe I'm doing something wrong.
No, well, you're not the only one. I've not found gold either.
I found medieval, no, not medieval, a Victorian hat pin. Probably, what was it now? It probably my first year of metal detecting. Yeah. It was a hat pin with a horseshoe on it.
Right.
And that was gold. That was gold with silver. So the studs were actually the nails that they put into the shoe.
Yeah.
Through the shoe. They were silver.
Right.
And that's the only bit of gold I found.
Yeah, the closest I've got to gold is a gold bottle top. That's as close as I get.
I keep hitting these things that go, it's gold, and I find it and I go, oh, I just feel like being sick. And yet, no, and so many people go to me, I want to find your Roman coins, and then the next day they put gold coins, and I'm like, I just feel sick.
Yeah. I've only got a couple more questions for you because we've been streaming for just over an hour. But from when you find and detect your Romans, your Roman coins, what kind of signal are they giving you? Are they giving you a good solid signal, or are they coming in a bit iffy?
Roman coins always give you it's always a two-way.
Yeah.
Don't get me wrong, with Roman sites, that's why I always said to someone, if you do your research and you've got a Roman site, put it in horseshoe mode and find a spot where it's just full of iron.
Yeah.
If it's full of iron, if you're just getting all the grunting, it's a pure Roman site. I'm really lucky because everything I've ever metal detected has always been Roman, so I know it. I like to not inside out, but I like to know my Roman sites.
Yeah.
And when I metal detect a Roman site, I basically just chuck it on all in horseshoe mode, and then I ain't by a stump matter anymore. And then you've got all this grunting, and then you've got sweet tones. Even if it's one way, dig a hole, pull it out.
Yeah.
And Romans. This is. I'm not going to mention any famous YouTubers, but there's many YouTubers that metal detect and they go, "Oh yeah, I've had this. I only dig below 40 or above 40 and above 30 and whatever." Anybody who asks me, I'm digging Romans with an ox. I'm digging Romans at 2 and 3.
Yeah, I've seen cut quarters and halves come up at 4 5s. Gold comes up low numbers.
I'd say the general consensus of a nice Roman coin it'll still be trashy ground, but in a clear enough area to like just get a good signal through it.
Yeah,
you're looking 13s, 14s.
Yeah,
majority of the time. You really, really small Romans in amongst iron, you can pull them out 3 and 4. Listen, if you're getting a 2-way on a 3-4, you dig it anyway. It's just simple.
Yeah.
If you get a 2-way on a one, you dig it. It's anybody who's. I'm like, I've got this because I'm in this area where there's loads of Romans and then there's World War II a lot involved and all the Americans around.
Yeah.
We get a lot of 303s. So I've got this situation where I'm on my Roman sites. I've got all these Roman coins, and I know when the Roman coins, because it's just ding ding, like there's just this. It just sounds like a coin.
Yeah.
Then you get the 1718s, and it's always 1718s, and they're more drawn, and by a millisecond, like literally, it's just like ding ding, and you go, it's a bullet casing. And what I do then is, although 1 in a million, I might miss something that is decent.
Yeah.
Generally, it's a bullet casing. So what I do is, I do it 1 in 3. So if I get 1718, I go bullet casing. 1718, bullet casing. 1718, I'll dig that one, and then move on again.
Yeah.
Because otherwise, you just constantly. I can dig bullet casings, bullet tips, which are around 14 all day long.
Wow.
You've got to. Don't. I'm one of them. A lot of people go, you've got to listen to the tone because you know that's how we always used to do it with machines before they had VDIs. I go, I'm new school, as in all technology-wise, looking at the script and everything. But I can look at my screen, I can listen to the tone and go, right, the screen helps the tone. So if it's given a 14 and it's like not like a coiny sound thing, I go bullet casings, bullet tip.
Yeah.
Straight away, yeah. It's you've got to. They didn't bring out screens on metal detectors because it wouldn't benefit metal detectors. So use everything to your own advantage.
Oh yeah, definitely.
Exactly.
Right. So one of the final questions, and I'll put you on the main screen for it while I nip away for 1 minute. But is basically your top 5 bucket list, or some stuff that you've not found but you want to find.
What my top 5?
Yeah, but what is your most top one? Would you say that you really are after? Mine's a Crotal Bell, so that is mine. But I'll put you in the.
Do you know what? I know I'm probably prolonging you as well, but Crotal Bells.
Yeah.
For forever, I was finding parts Crotal Bells and everything. And one day I found the most amazing Crotal Bell. I've actually got it on my Facebook somewhere. And it was this big juicy Crotal Bell. And then a day later, I walked around the corner, metal detector again, same field, but completely different area.
Yeah.
And I found another perfect. They're like buses that come in. Yeah. Once you find one, you'll find 5.
Nice. So
how many times have you found people with Roman gold coins or whatever, and then they find another one the day after?
Yeah, true.
But my bucket list.
I'll put you on the main screen now, Mark. Just while I nip off for 1 minute. But if you just tell them what your bucket list is.
bucket list there. It's a bit of a tough one because if I go gold wise, I obviously want gold, so I'd go with. I found loads of Roman, so I'd find a gold. I'd love to find a gold Roman. If personal wise, as in personally, because I love World War II, and I'd love to go with some Nazi swastika just as part of my memorabilia, although it's a bit of a bad era. Yeah, and I just thought, it's a bit of a weird situation because it's one of them things that everybody wants to forget, and Nazi swastika and stuff is part of history, to be fair. So it's I'd take one of them all day, but gold Roman. That's what I'm going with.
Gold Roman. Funnily enough, that's what Day the Detectives has said as well. Gold Roman.
I've found everything that is Roman. So a gold Roman would be Yeah.
See, what's you got? A gold Roman, a PC Saxon, a Roman ring, a crotobell, and a toy cannon.
Yeah. Do you know what I'd love to find? I know it's completely opposite of what the machine would find. I'd love to find a cannonball.
See, no, you say that, right? And surprisingly, I hear very little cannonballs come up. Now, musket balls and all the rest, but cannonballs very rarely do.
The one thing that never goes in my waste bucket is musket balls, even if they're battered.
Yeah.
Because at the end of the day, that was fired in anger, and that for me, I just go, it's just mega.
Yeah.
My friend, my mate, literally, we're on. There's probably 10 houses on this estate, and one of the lads dug his garden, a tree up in his garden, and he's got half a musket ball in his garden because the boss's house, who trains here, Owen Burrows, his house was King Henry VIII's stay over.
Yeah.
And then militia used to actually attack him from Lamborn. So it's all like full of history. It's mental history.
See, I'm the same. I've just opened up my box, but I don't know if you can see the Marky my musket balls as well.
Yeah. I love musket balls.
Yeah. Do you know what else?
No matter how many are in my deck.
Yeah.
I just love them.
I love I'll tell you what else, lead I do enjoy digging up as well, and it's bag seals.
Bag seals.
Yeah.
I've got a few of them.
Yeah.
Have you ever found any of the lead trade tokens?
No. Well, I've not found trade tokens. To be fair, like I've found bag seals, but never. I wouldn't say trade tokens. I found a couple of church tokens with like the county that I'm in, basically.
Yeah.
But I've never found what you say trade tokens.
Well, they're rarer than because like I found a couple of lead tokens here. Some of them are really rare, like we find a lot around here. The Henry Knighton's hammered coins,
right?
Which are not silver, but they're their trade tokens they've got, and that's probably my best find so far, as in because it's a 1656 Henry Knighton Lamborn train coin, and that's the obviously what the lads used to get at work and they used to earn.
Yeah, no, definitely. Actually, I was in North Wales with a few others that are also in the chat. But the nice thing that I've seen and come up, and it's the first time I've seen one, was actually a Druid token. I'd never seen one before.
A Druid token.
Yeah, a Druid coin token. Yeah, it was that was quite neat. It was like a figure in a hoodie, and it was quite nice. Like that was Detective Jim and Paul that found that. Like it was quite nice.
I've never been there, man.
Yeah. Yeah. Luke's saying that we know about bag seals. Yeah. We went to where was it, Luke? Lancashire for a dig, for a rally as such this year. in one field without a word of lie. If you could say hoard is an understatement. I think there must have been like, say, like, I don't know. Oh, that's it. Sorry, it's a druid coin. But in this field, everybody walked off that went through that field were in double figures with bag seals. It was just unreal.
You must have found some hammered coins, or
I never. But one of the guys did, and that apparently did find one in that field. But there were a few hammered coins that come up off surrounding areas.
Yeah.
But honestly, these bag seals, there was absolutely thousands of them. I've never seen so many.
To be fair, they do. If they do, but then that's not bad. It's not a bad sign to recite that, though.
Yeah. So what's that? Great those come from the big mine in Anglesey. The paid staff. Yeah, he's talking about the druid coins.
Is it?
Yeah, he's basically saying they come from the big mine in Anglesey. They paid staff with them to save on cash, he believes. And if you drive through it now, it's like being on a moon. Yeah, but they are decent, like druids tokens. That's them. But absolutely fantastic. Right, so final question for you, Mark, before we shoot off. With your channel, what would you like to see yourself accomplish with metal detecting in, say, the next 5 years? Within, say, 5 years is a nice time span to do it, but what would you like to see yourself accomplish?
What, in my channel?
Your channel, or just in actual detecting itself, what would you like to have accomplished or found? Or possibly changed the history of area?
Bit of a tough question, really, yeah. I think like anybody had said, you know what? I accomplish, as in when it comes to metal detecting, I'm happy as it is anyway, because don't get me wrong, I'd love to go out and find something that changes history forever.
Yeah.
But then the other part of me, if in 5 years I've helped another 10 people find something amazing, then, do you know what I mean? It's tough, because I already know of several people that I've helped, like with settings, and they've come back to me and they've said, I found this because you give me these settings or whatever. It's not even so much me anymore. It started out as me, and
now it's somebody else. You're helping others.
Nah. It's if someone messages me tomorrow and said, I found a hoard of this and I was using your settings and I listened to what you helped me, you set my machine up, then that's job done. Yeah.
No.
Yeah. So in 5 years, if in 5 years time, it's pretty hard to say, because in my own time, I'm full. I work full time. I've got a wife and a little girl, and I've got my other hobbies, and I only get so much time. So if people message me, I generally give them as much advice as I can and help them set the machines up.
Yeah.
And I know, like I said recently, I know a couple of lads that have found seriously good stuff, and that's the thing. In 5 to 6 years, if people can go around and go, he helped me find this major bit in history, even if I didn't find it myself, then that's my job done. Yeah.
No, definitely. It's a good answer. But anyway, so Mark, we've been streaming just for an hour and 25. Time's just flown, but it has been an absolute pleasure speaking to you, and thank you very much for coming on. And I'll send you one of my little coins as well, as I discussed.
Yeah, cheers, boss. Yeah, I'll throw it in my video for you.
No bother. But it has been a pleasure.
I'll go if you want to go listen to me rabbit on for an hour and 25 minutes.
No, that's fine. But it has been an absolute pleasure and an honour speaking to you. But for for everyone else, thank you very much for coming in and joining us tonight. And stay safe. Good luck.